how would you like so? So I appreciate that. I am chuckling as I had to fix my internet because after all, it's not like you get COVID and the internet goes down and everybody picks something, right? Here we are. All right. Thank you guys. So how are we all doing? I have been following along with all of you. How is everyone feeling? Why don't you give me an update? This is your call, guys. I promise you I will start it in about 30 seconds, but I want to hear how you're doing. Good. Good. How's Phoenix? How's Florida? How's Arizona? How are we all doing?
Phoenix is so weather is becoming very lovely.
Oh, that's wonderful. That is wonderful. So we've got Phoenix. So how are we doing in Florida?
Hi, sweetie.
Hi, how are you? Good. How are we doing? Maureen, how are you doing?
Stressed. I have a brother in hospice.
I'm sorry.
Thank you. Yep. But otherwise, good.
Maureen, if there's anything I can do, I'm right here.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Yep.
I'm guessing Cambridge.
No.
Okay. Pittsburgh. Not a problem. You just let me know if I can drop anything off, okay?
Okay. Thanks, bro.
Okay. And how are we doing in Arkansas? I heard Carol come on.
We're doing good.
Good.
Heavy started, right?
Okay. Well, for everyone who's going through good times, hard times, or I know that all of you have been, or a lot of you have been emailing me and keeping me abreast, and my prayers have been with all of you, and I have been following along. I watched the amazing Sunrider convention along with a lot of you, and for some of you, you actually got to attend, and that seemed wonderful. So I would love to hear from those of you that watched it, those of you that attended it. I know that Mac's been sharing some of the highlights. Can you just tell me what you liked about it? Okay. Okay.
All this speakers. I mean, it's great. Any business advice I can get, I will absolutely take. Of course, I
stand with you on that.
Yeah. I wish there was more on the product, like the old days when Dr. Chen would talk and you could hear the passion in his voice and why he did this and how he, but anyway, we will take what we can get.
Well, I stand with you, and I want you to know that I too, feel along with you, and I want to just say that all of us, right? I think that there was many years ago that I shared a story where I had just started eating Sunrider, and I had just come back from Japan. I had been an exchange student and studying there for a year, and when I came back, I had my own health challenges, and I began eating Sunrider, and I will always remember this. It was a very deliberate decision, but I was young, I was in college, and I decided for a few months I would not eat the foods, right? A lot of you remember this, just to see what would happen, right? Would I feel sick? Would I feel the same? I'm always a student, right? And so I went 3 months, and I forever take this away because I applied it during this passage with Sunrider. And the first thing I noticed was I was really hungry for it, right? Now, going through for a lot of you, some of you have had an easier time. Some of you, like myself, who've had children who had some health challenges and some stress that, boy, did I miss my Callie. But what I noticed was first, a little bit about what happened, but I want to share that that second takeaway I took many years ago was that philosophy of regeneration, that for the amount of good nutrition that had been put right into the body, we don't go backwards. We don't suddenly wake up and find ourselves right back to where we began. We find ourselves hungry to feel better. And we recognize that regeneration really means that if we give our bodies every day the right nutrition in a concentrated form, and in a form that is vital, it's alive still, our bodies know what to do with it, and we function optimally. And when we start, right, to realize that we don't seem to be able to replace that. We're looking for it in all sorts of places because we liked the way we felt. What I really want to share with you is you don't go back. You don't go back to where you began if you began with ill health or you began challenged. You get hungry and your body starts looking. Where can I get that nutrition? Where can I get that concentrated nutrition? And part of the frustration, which I have to tell you guys, I chuckle at because I am the same as you are, is that you love feeling good. You realize, right? This works. And so the third takeaway was, this works. I like the way I feel. Not only that, but I like that I am feeling better every day. And so you miss it. That's not a bad thing to realize, guys. I really want to share that with you. And that's from a very humble place of wanting to give my children, right, everything they needed while I could not get the product, just like you. But realizing that the good that we had done was still in place. And Sunrider wasn't going anywhere. They just moved manufacturing. And therefore, we were all going to have to wait because, as you know, Dr. Chen and Dr. Chen's family have high standards. And I'm grateful for that they're not just going to let something pass. They're not going to give it to you if it's not in the best form for you. So as the products all come back to you, what I want you to pay attention to is, what did I gain from this experience? Not what did I lose, what did I gain? And how can that be my testimony going forward? How can I share with somebody, wow, I was so angry because I missed this so much. I was so frustrated, right? Because I couldn't get my hands on a bag of tea. That tells you how significant these products truly are. For you to be that upset, wanting it that much, the recognition of what concentration and living food really means. I think it's an important takeaway. And that gain is something that all of us are going to walk away from, because in the next month, the product will all be back. Now, I will stand with you and say, absolutely, I wish there had been a little bit more communication. Of course. And I know that Sunrider did their best. And they'll learn too. So as we go forward, remember the word regeneration. Regeneration of my body, regeneration of my spirit, right? Regeneration of my mind. And as you begin to eat these foods again, in the quantity you want, I want you to ask yourself, before time passes, what does it feel like to have been without and to be new to this? Because you have an opportunity, as all your new distributors and your new customers, that brand new, oh my gosh, I love the way I feel moment, which a lot of you have forgotten about. And so I'm challenging all of you as we go forward this month. And you ask yourself honestly, what did I miss about it? And how do I feel having it back? body feel like? What does my mind feel like? And I want to share with you, because I think it's important that you know that we all walk this together, all of us, and that there have been, for my family, some health challenges we didn't see coming. Of course not. And it took all my attention. And I apologize for that. But my children needed me greatly, greatly. But I am here, and they are well. And I will tell you that last week, my dear cousins, Marlene and Richard Allenheim, will be forever grateful for hosting these calls. And the wonderful Karen Emerson sent me some bags of Cali. Now, for those of you that do not know, I have not had Cali in my home for months. Months. And we all got COVID. after going back to school. And I will tell you, coming through it and standing with all of you and understanding, that bag of Cali felt so good that I probably would have sold my car and everything in it for that bag, and that I could make a pot for my children. It reminds me of why I began all those years ago. Because when you can give the best nourishment, right, to those you love, to yourself, it offers you a future, right? I think we can all stand with this. It changes your present, and it offers you a future, which in turn allows you to offer that to somebody else. So as you go forward, my challenge is that you share it, that even if you have just a few bags left, give it back to somebody. Let somebody have that moment with you. And as all the products come back, and as life feels like it resumes to somewhat normalcy with the foods, remember what it was like to be without, and remember the gift to have it in your body. And then we can all go forward and share one more time from a new place of how significant these products are. It's very easy to get comfortable when something is working. The moment it gets taken, I think we all understand, right? We all understand. So I'm starting tonight's call on that hopeful, positive note, not on a note of frustration, because we've all been here and we all understand it, but on a note that says your products are coming back. Everything's coming back. And for a lot of you, your back orders are coming in. And I'm going to challenge you to share it. Do not hoard it, guys. If you have a 60 box, I challenge you to take 10 packets and give one to 10 people. Okay? So I'm going to start the call by saying you can start 6, guys, if you want to go on mute. Then you can talk to each other. And you can also, for those who are making dinner, you can make dinner. You can start 6 to come back on. All right? You can also just hit your mute button. And that way we can record the call if Mac's on. All right, guys? So this is Dr. Dees. I am hosting the Sunrider call tonight. And we've got a little static. So if you find that you cannot hear me, someone say something. Those of you that have not star 6, I'm going to ask you to do it or mute because somebody's got static on their phone. There we go. Thank you. Thank you. All right. So everybody who asked me, and I shared it with Marlene the other day, where did the music for the Sunrider theme come from? For all of you who are at convention, it came from the Broadway show Kinky Boots. All right. So the song "Raise You Up" that you all have been emailing me, where do I find that song? It's from the Broadway show. And I love Sunrider because they are very current and very hip, okay? That's where the song "Raise You Up" is. I want to begin, as always, by sharing something from, I love Sunrider literature. You know that. And so Sunrider has always and will always state their mission. And I am taking this opportunity to remind you of their mission. It is not to keep the product from you. But their mission is who we are. This is who they are. This is who they stand by. Okay? And they stand with. We are a world-class company that creates the finest herb-based products. Our purpose is to nourish the world and inspire a life of balance, authenticity, and well-being. Our vision is to foster a culture of opportunity so that people, you, anywhere, feel empowered to challenge conventions, push beyond your own boundaries, and pave your path to health and success. We believe that investing in the holistic well-being of people, in you, allows you to live out your best life. And because of this, we're committed to empowering both personal and professional prosperity while supporting your healthy living and your family. Okay? So just as you missed the food, I'm hoping you also will revive your memory as to what Sunrider's mission is and to what we all are going to stand with, which is we want our bodies to be the most nourished so that we can put forth our best foot, right? And have the best quality of life. And then we want to provide that for our family, for those we love, for our neighbors, for our friends, and for those we don't know. All right? So I want to start by something that I posted, and I will tell you that I posted that from Sunrider's Instagram on stress. And I thought it was very significant and very important that Sunrider knows exactly what we're all going through. And they also know that the foods are coming back, and a lot of them are back. But I do think that stress levels have risen. And I know that personally, I know that professionally, and I also know that from my children in their lives. And how important it is to understand that your body goes into a state of fight or flight, right? When we're stressed. And although we can take a walk or we can meditate, nothing takes the place, guys, of putting proper nutrition in the body and giving your body the fuel so you can concentrate, so you can cope, so that your nutrient levels are regulated. It's very important that we come back to the concept that nutritionally we have to be sound. And Sunrider absolutely positively is the best path forward. And so I want you to look in your cabinets, and I want you to start with, what do I have? Not what am I missing, but what do I have? And we're going to start from there. But I want to read you first what I posted. And this is from Sunrider. And it says, stress levels are on the rise. People feel burnout, discouraged, or anxious. Self-care was never a luxury, but today it has become a necessity. It's time to restore and recharge. Listen to your heart, practice mindfulness, and always remember that storms don't last forever. This World Mental Health Day, let people around you know that they are not alone. We all have a wide range of emotions, and it's okay to express. At Sunrider, we strive for bringing mind, body, and spirit into balance. We help people take pauses, refocus, and come back refreshed with greater levels of energy. Let's face these stressors together, body, mind, and spirit. So I wanted to talk about some of the Sunrider foods that we have. Now, some of you are going to text me before I finish my sentence and tell me that you don't have these products in your cabinet. That's okay. That's okay. Because I can recreate this 5 different ways. But I want to start with the understanding, and so many have emailed over these months, which is when we are stressed, our bodies overproduce cortisol. Cortisol is a stress hormone. And when we produce too much cortisol, we gain weight. Or as some of my clients love to say, they feel puffy. They always feel puffy. Cortisol is flight response when our bodies don't have what they need to cope, or like a rubber band, we've been stretched too much and we're not bouncing back. And we have to regroup, right? Refocus, re-nourish. The question that always comes to me is, what food do we have that actually can help reduce the cortisol, reduce the fight or flight response, which impacts and affects what we call the adrenal glands. And those glands are part of your hormonal system. And they regulate how you cope. They regulate your emotions. They regulate how you sleep, how you focus, how you concentrate, and how you gain weight or lose weight. Those adrenal glands are very important. And when we produce too much cortisol because we're in a high level of stress, we also, like the old concept of burning a candle at both ends, right? We are in a constant state of stress versus as this stated, it's no longer luxury, it's necessity. Rather than it being a temporary state of stress, we're in a chronic state. So I want to start by reminding all of us of 3 different groupings that Sunrider has of food that allow for us to re-nourish the adrenal glands, lower the cortisol response, regulate and lower that fight or flight, so we're not, as my lovely Marlene says, in a stand. The first grouping is our top joint. And I know some of you are just hoping it's in your back order. And some of you, I know, have 3 to 6 bottles in your cabinet. So I want to start with just defining what is really top jointies for. And for those of you that ran out, you were the first ones that emailed me saying, I miss my top jointies so much. Because you realized that nourishing the mind, body, spirit made a difference. And just as somebody will nourish with assimilate a stomach, right? Your digestive system. We take that at face value. We can say assimilate is wonderful for our digestive system. And I'm a person that gets indigestion. So I'm going to include or use it for assimilate. Or you may be somebody that says, I know, I'm positive, right? That my hormones are off. So you like extra present. But I think that the important piece of mental health, emotional health, we forget how that plays upon our physical health. And so what top jointies really do is they allow for the systems that a lot of us forget about unless we are stressed. We forget to get the same nourishment as your stomach would get. The top, I'm going to make it very easy for you, okay? Top, think of it like this. Neck up. Excuse me if my voice is a little funky. As I said, I did have COVID, like a lot of you. So I did lose my voice. But here I am. So top, which is from the neck up. Think of it as food that regulates the brain stem function, the way you think, the way the signals and messages are sent from the brain to the body. That says, I'm happy, or say I'm in pain, or how you focus. I want you to think of how important it is for mental health, the way one's brain operates. Because honestly, until you start saying, my memory isn't great, we forget about top. But I am telling you, these are really important products. And so the top allows for your mental health to get as much nourishment as NBC. The joy, J-O-I, stands for joy. From the neck down, or as I like to say, your musculoskeletal system. Think about even your skull, all the bones, right? The joints, the ligaments, the tissue of the body. Anybody who's ever had back pain, Anyone who's ever had chronic inflammation knows what it's like, right? To be in spasm or to be in pain. And until you know what it's like, it's very easy to forget the necessity of nourishing the musculoskeletal system. But if you want your anatomy, your muscles, your bones, your joints, your ligaments to support you long term without you having to be in crisis, you will see this system of the body just as you see your digestive system. So we need to see the mental component, the physical component, or the musculoskeletal component, and then the ESP. It's exactly the way it sounds. It's for the central nervous system. It is because we have enough nourishment that allows for us to cope effectively. That our adrenal glands, that fight or flight, that we don't live in that fight or flight long term, where our stressors, right, take over, and suddenly we're in a chronic state of I don't sleep, I have headaches, right? I am in a constant state of agitation. Nobody needs to get there to know how important it is to nourish the system. So every day, for those of you that have osteoarthritis, I want you to take the concept of nourishing the entire body, not just parts of your body, but the entire body, and the mind, body, spirit concept, and feed with top joint and watch the adrenal glands start to rest. All of a sudden, you'll notice your happiness, your sleep, the body doesn't hurt as much. You start to notice that your focus is much improved. You notice that the ability to focus or concentrate is there. The ability, right, to actually take a walk or exercise is there. We don't want to wait until there's a crisis to prevent. And if there's a philosophy that Sunrider truly stands by, it's prevention. That the best way to prevent imbalance is to nourish the whole body. The top dreams for everybody who's lived through stress, who's lived through, right, any imbalance in mental health, who's lived through physical imbalance or inflammation, you will know how you feel with it, and you know how you feel without it. So for everybody, this becomes prevention. But more than prevention, I want you to see that you can even feel better than you do. Your actual balance of being can be improved. So for those of you that think, you know what? My mind's great. My body's great. Right? My musculoskeletal system is great. I really want to challenge you and say, it's all great and we still have to nourish it. Because it's the same philosophy of if I said to you all the food you've been eating up until now in your life, it's great, but if you decided to starve from this point on, what do you think would happen? Deterioration. Rather than regeneration, we venture into degeneration. And as a society, especially over these past few years, we have been a crisis-oriented society where we are looking for things to fix problems versus prevent them. So I'm going to challenge everybody. Mental health. Top joint needs. Give your brain what it needs so it can send the correct signals to your body of repair and good health. Allow for that cortisol to come down. Your weight will come off much easier. And for those of you that know what puppy looks like and feels like, the puppiness will come down. And the good news with posturing knees, because these are you can eat them as often as you want for the day. And in the morning, with that, you could eat them every 2 hours if you want to. If you notice that you are someone that tends to be more depressed or devastated or to have inflammation, you can eat if you like, more of one than the other, but eat them all together anyway. And for those of you that do not have something, but maybe you have one of them, eat what you've got. Nourish the system you've got. For those of you that have been lucky and blessed enough to still have Vitaspray, I want to remind you that Vitaspray has a full amount of B-complex and B12. That is your stress vitamin. That's your coping vitamin. And so when you've used that up, which can be used up in the blink of an eye, and you're not replacing it, you're going to find yourself more frazzled, not loud, but more. For those of you that have Vitaspray, you may not have top ratings. This is a wonderful product for you. For those of you that may be blessed to have all of this, use all of it. But I am asking you to reset your footing because so many of you have been without product and have been frustrated and angry and upset, and for a lot of you not feeling great. This is a wonderful time to start new footing. For those of you that may be new and starting now, top joinees, wonderful to start with. Vitaspray, easy for everybody. And I will tell you that as a mom of 4, and as a mom who has lived through some really interesting years with teenage years during the pandemic, I've really come to understand what children in depression look like and how important Vitaspray is. And the importance of replacing for all of us, our children, our grandchildren, whatever they may be, every day, so we start anew. For those of you that may not have Vitaspray, but you have MetaBalance 44, you have the best multivitamin, multi-mineral on the planet. There's nothing better. See, MetaBalance 44 took Dr. Chen 10 years to create. As a doctor in the field of nutrition for all these years, I know what it takes, and it's absolutely not possible to put the correct foods together to allow for every vitamin and every mineral to digest properly. You have to be brilliant, and I mean it, brilliant, and this is your passion, to have spent 10 years identifying which food has which ingredient that balances with the other food with that ingredient to allow for vitamin E to be absorbed. Do you need vitamin C with your iron? How much iron is too much? MetaBalance 44 is the perfect balance of every single one of your vitamins and minerals. And so, if all you had in your house was MetaBalance 44, you have a home run. If you have one of my favorite combinations, especially for teenagers, but as a mom this year, definitely, has been MetaBalance 44 with Vitaspray. But what it does, I want you to really get this. I spent a long time teaching this to leaders. I want you to think of an umbrella. Then I want you to poke the hole through the umbrella, right? You have an umbrella now with holes, and it rains. You have an umbrella, but you have holes in your umbrella, and now you're wet, right? Now I want you to put an umbrella over your head, and your family. What MetaBalance 44 does for the body. It fills all the holes, every one of them. And so while everybody is exhausted, figuring out, right? Figuring out what foods they need, which ones they need. For those of you that have MetaBalance, it's a home run in your home. And do not use any other multivitamin unless you cannot get this. Because it is, and I'm serious, impossible to find products that are balanced like this, that the body absorbs. That's why you all missed it. And that's why those of you that looked for other products, you didn't feel the same. And the other part is that it's very hard to find this level of concentration. It's actually almost impossible. And so when we talk about the concept of growing a garden, right, of carrots, and picking 10 carrots, and taking all the nutrition of the 10 carrots, and spray drying it on one carrot, and you eat that one carrot. That's the nutritional level of every ingredient in every one of Sunrider's foods. In order to do that outside of Sunrider, you're going to be full, right? It's not the same. It's impossible to digest. That's the brilliance of Sunrider and Dr. Jen. That's a legacy. And that's why you all feel better, because you absorb it better. You are able to digest it. When you can digest it and absorb it, then it's like a train. It travels through the bloodstream, to the organs, to the brain. It gets where it needs to go. That's what happens. That's why you feel better. And it's a concentrated amount that's easily digestible. It works. So whichever Sunrider food you have, they all will work. All of them. The third group is really too. And any part of that is a good part. So the end, right, is a complete balance, guys, of protein to complex carbohydrates. And so you will not gain from eating this over and over and over again, because it's what we call dense nutrition. That's what Sunrider is. It's low calorie, high nutrition. And so when you eat something, let's say like New Plus or VitaShake, or even, right, our Sunfit Protein Plus, or for those of you lucky enough to still have a Sunbar, it's the perfect ratio. Just as MetaBalance is the perfect balance to the vitamin, to the mineral, your New Plus grouping, or your N from your NBC, is the perfect balance of what we all used to draw in school, of what does the ideal plate look like. How many vegetables, how much protein, right? How much complex of a carb. The body knows exactly what to do with it. And so you produce fuel from it. And that fuel allows for you to have energy. It also allows you to have recovery. And within your New Plus grouping, you have MetaBalance, guys, in it. So for those of you who are fortunate to have VitaShake, you have MetaBalance, and you have VitaDoc in your VitaShake packet. So you have some of your missing ingredients in other places. But New Plus will allow the N, okay? Your New Plus, your VitaShake, etc., will allow the same process as Top Joy needs. It'll help reduce the cortisol. It'll help take you out of fight or flight. And you'll notice that although it may do something a little different, you are nourished. And the key here, guys, is that fixing a problem is one thing. Preventing it is another. And our goal is to get everyone back in prevention. And so New Plus allows for you to have all just as the same concept of the umbrella. Do you have enough protein? Do you have enough fiber? Do you have enough amino acids? Do you have enough complex carbs? Are you eating enough? Are you eating too much? This is that perfect balance. That's why I've always said you let it be your first food. So before you eat dinner, eat your New Plus while you're making it. You'll notice, or your VitaShake, you can even eat it dry. You'll notice that it starts to fill up a lot of those missing holes, and so you're not starving, you're not famished. The body's not searching for the nutrition, you already gave it. And it allows for you in a calmer way to then go on and eat dinner, whatever that's going to be. But we have to look at what we have in the cabinet and what's coming through this month, and let it be your first food guide. Not what is fixing my problem. How am I nourishing myself back to well-being, back to the health I love? And how do I start someone on that path? You have minor is another version, right, of nutrition. It's all of your vegetables, fishes, seeds, your finger, your digestion, your hormonal, your, right, you know this, your respiratory, it's going to, and your autoimmune, your immune system, your circulatory, all your major systems. And so if you have quinine, capsules, powder, liquid 5, even if you don't know what it's doing, I am telling you, it's giving you nourishment that's balanced correctly for those organs to function optimally. And we can start the building you back up and then preventing. And then for those of you that have some Cali, for those of you that have Fortune, I want to remind you that there's over 400 varieties of green tea on the market. So anyone that tells you that all tea is tea, or that they're all the same, or that you're, even though my kids love boba tea and matcha tea, right? I mean, they're old enough that they know what it is. They love Cali and Fortune because it feels different. The Cali and Fortune is the nourishment. You want to drink a different brand of green tea for fun? Go for it. You can like whatever you like. You like your coffee, drink it. It has nothing to do with why you're drinking Cali and Fortune. It's the nourishment. And because we know that the body's cleansing systems, right, cannot get clogged up. So for a lot of you, it's been, my mind is mentally constipated, and so is my body. And for the first time, you're starting to realize how everything impacts each other. So your Cali and Fortune will let all of the toxicity, for those of you that are pent up, for those of you that have had a lot on your mind, for those of you that have had COVID or have viruses and we're in cold and flu season, for those of you that just want to flush the kidneys, or just allow for the body to have less toxicity and more purity, your cleansing organs, your kidneys need to function. But guys, I want to remind you, your adrenal glands need the same cleansing. Your body, just because we can put all this good in, doesn't mean that we don't need something that allows for what isn't wonderful in us to come out. And so, whether it's germs, right, viruses, it may be just negative, forgive me, stinking thinking, right? Whatever it may be, we need to allow our bodies to let go. And these organs matter. Your pancreas matters, your spleen matters, your liver matters. If you ever want to know what it's like to have a fatty liver and what inflammation feels like, right? Ask someone who has it, or someone who's had kidney trouble. You start to realize the importance of what Cali and Fortune do, or someone whose head is so congested that they're just begging for some relief. All of a sudden they drink Cali and Fortune. And if you have some Sunrider and you put it in, right? You open up the sinuses. But the point is that this isn't just about a fix. This is a quality of life that everybody has figured out matters. Matters. That's why you're all so upset. Me too. It's okay. It's okay. And I want to just say one more time that I am so grateful that we're all in this together, and I'm grateful that we can share ideas with each other. I want you to know I've not gone anywhere. I'm right here. And as I will always say, you matter, and the kids needed me. And they need mom versus the doctor. And I, like you, missed my Sunrider foods terribly. More than that, I missed you guys. So, going forward, I'm going to ask you to put on paper, what's my new plan? What's my plan going into the fall? Because fall is a time, although we all think of fall, of spring as renewal, so is fall. It's a time to let go. It's also a time to welcome in. So ask yourself, what do I need to let go of? What am I choosing to welcome in? Which foods do I have at home that I can get consistent with? Which products do I need? Make your list. And begin. Let's begin. And for those of you, I will say this again, that are receiving your back orders, I am going to challenge you to share. Truly share. And take 10 of those bags and share with 10 people. Because I'm telling you, you change lives. And the woman who sponsored me 1,000 years ago used to tell the story that her life was changed because someone dropped off one Cali bag. One. And she used to tell the story. And so her body felt it. So as we all start welcoming in the new and start getting excited because all the products are going to be here, and in addition we have new lipsticks, right? We'll have fun at the same time. And your calls are going to come back, that we all take a look at a reflection at what did we learn, what did we gain, and what would you like to see going forward? All right? Does anyone have any thoughts, comments, feedback, questions, anything you want?
Hello, Dr. Dees. This is Jean Lerner.
Hi, sweetie.
I'm so glad that you and your family are okay now.
Thank you.
And welcome back.
Thank you, sweetie. I appreciate that. I appreciate that.
Missed you lots.
Missed you too,
Marlene
honey.
and Richard are outstanding, and I'm very grateful for their help and for Marlene's help. I love you all.
Yes, they love you too. And Melina and Karen and Mary, I know that you all have a wonderful, wonderful team. And you let me know if you'd like to go back to those Friday mornings or Thursday mornings that you guys all loved also. But going forward, guys, everybody take a deep breath. I am so proud of each one of you. And for those that attended convention, I'm so excited for you guys. And for those that watched it, I'm excited for you too. And I understand the frustration. And it's time that we're going to move on from it, okay? Because the products are coming back, and it's not going to help us the state any longer, okay? So with that said, I'm going to do as I always do and invite Marlene on to share everything that, of course, I don't know because I was making dinner, of what's up and coming. Mar, can you come on?
Yes, I'm right here. Thank you so much, and I will reiterate, just as everyone else, how happy we are to have you back on the call.
Thank you.
And we have missed you, and we love you as well.
Love you too.
And
thank you.
Yes, and I will say that, we've all tried our best just to keep on going, and we've learned a lot about ourselves and about what products we could try that we did have in our cabinet. So that was a good challenge for all of us. We really did challenge ourselves. Say, well, we don't have this, so let's try this. And I think it's been wonderful.
It's like an ongoing buffet over there.
Yes.
So what calls are there coming up, and what before I start hearing the clicks?
Yes. So we are having, right after this, there's the Rising Stars call, and you can find that information on the Rising Stars Facebook page. There is a link there. And then after that call, there is a Sunrider call, and it's for onboarding training. This is a monthly training. This is for all new IBOs, but also for anyone that wants to get on that would like to learn a little bit more how Sunrider is sharing and helping to train new people. So
that's wonderful. And is that link? It's right on the same part of the Rising Stars page, correct? Yeah.
Correct. And if someone didn't see that, they can always go, if they want to, their website, or we also receive emails on that. So
yes.
Sunrider's calendar. So you can find it in a few places.
So, and I will go in right now and I will cut and paste on Rising Stars, and I'll put it on Dr. Dees' Facebook page also. So you guys can find it there. I will do that in 30 seconds. That is wonderful. That is wonderful information.
to get through that day.
Mm-hmm.
And so I always think of Sunrider in my body as a bank account. And if I'm eating sugar and stuff like that, that's taken out of my bank account really big. But Sunrider is always a deposit. But your deposits always have to be more than your withdrawals, your stress, your other habits, that sort of thing. And so, I think a lot of people may have realized that they were really living paycheck to paycheck as far as Sunrider is concerned, and that they may want to up that to make sure, because if you have regenerated, like you said, you don't stop eating Sunrider and all of a sudden go back to what you were. Now, if you're just eating a little bit, yeah, your headaches may show up, this may show up, because you were eating enough to get through the day and to kind of shut off that, you give it to your body, and your body goes, oh, okay, we're finally getting it. I can shut off the alarm, so to speak. But you got to give it enough to do the work that it needs to do. So
that was wonderfully said. Thank you. I mean, that was wonderfully said. And I think that matters the most. Are you making more deposits then, honestly, than you are withdrawals? And just the balance of that, and how we all were living versus what we potentially need, and a new moment, right? A new moment, an aha moment. That was beautifully said. Thank you. Yeah, thank you. I loved that. You can come on and say that every time. That's really good. Marlene, anything else, sweetie?
No, that's it for tonight that we have.
Okay. Yeah. So with all the wonderfulness coming up, guys, let's all count our blessings, and let's start making more deposits, right, into our health, into the way of life that you really like, into each other, and as we all, I think, everyone feels blessed that we all have each other, and that support. So everybody, wonderful to be back. Thank you, and let's just all take the next step going forward, okay? More deposits coming. All right, love you guys.
Thanks, honey. Thank you.